September 15th, 1944, 0630 hours. Peleliu's White Beach 1. The Higgins boat ramp slams down into blood-warm surf, and Corporal Eugene's sledge grips his M1 carbine, salt spray stinging his eyes as Japanese machine guns from Bloody Nose Ridge rake the landing zone. Bullets whip the water into froth around Private First Class Jay DeLauter, who lunges forward, boots sinking into coral sand littered with shattered palm fronds and the twitching bodies of the first wave. You can almost taste the cordite mixed with rotting vegetation. Hear the screams cut short by 7.7mm rounds from hidden bunkers, logs layered with coconut matting, sandbags, coral slabs 2 feet thick, firing slits like unblinking eyes. Sledge's 1st Marine Division, fresh from training hell in Pavuvu, expected pre-landing bombardments to pulverize these nests. 2,500 tons of shells from battleships like the USS Pennsylvania, 800 tons of bombs from carrier planes. But as E Company, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines claws inland toward the airfield, the bunkers spit death undeterred. Fragmentation grenades bounce off roofs or get lobbed back. Flamethrowers can't reach recessed ports without exposing the operator to crossfire. DeLauter drops behind a splintered stump, heart pounding as a tracer sears past his helmet. Another buddy, Private Hank Hansen, crumples, clutching his gut, crimson pooling in the white coral dust. By 0800, they've barely advanced 200 yards, bodies piling in the wire. Platoon Sergeant John Basilone, Medal of Honor hero from Guadalcanal, curses the impasse, his BAR smoking. Desperation breeds genius. DeLauter, a wiry farm boy from Ohio with grease-stained hands from tinkering foxhole stoves, eyes the discarded C-ration cans glinting nearby. Empty B units from breakfast, tin cylinders that once held meat hash, crackers, soluble coffee. "Give me that cheese spread and some powder," he mutters to Sledge, who tosses his from the ration kit. In the crater's shadow, amid the whine of mortars, DeLauter pries open 3 cans, scrapes the processed cheese into a gooey mass, mixes in crushed cracker bits and gunpowder siphoned from a dud 60mm mortar round scavenged yesterday. He packs the foul-smelling paste tight, wraps it in a sock from his pack, ties the ends with comm wire, lights the trailing fuse, gun cotton from a signal flare, using his Zippo. The toy looks ridiculous, no bigger than a pineapple grenade, stinking like spoiled cheese and sulfur. DeLauter heaves it through the slit of the nearest bunker, 20 yards off. The defenders inside, a squad of Colonel Kunio Nakagawa's 14th Division veterans, yell in confusion as it rolls in. Boom! Flames erupt from the port, screams follow, then silence. Smoke billows white-hot, carrying the reek of charred flesh and melting log resin. The Marines freeze, disbelieving. Sledge peers in, 4 bodies twisted, bunker gutted, the blast channeling through the confined space like a dragon's breath. Word spreads like wildfire. But brass back at Division HQ has forbidden such unauthorized ordnance. 1 misfire could maim friendlies. DeLauter shrugs, already prepping 2 more from ration scraps. That afternoon, as the sun boils the dead, his toy clears a 2nd bunker, pinning down Company H. By dusk, 4 nests lie smoldering, 22 Japanese dead. E Company's path to the airfield open. But patrols report Nakagawa's reserves massing in the Umerbrogel ridges, thousands more bunkers honeycombed in limestone caves. Will the toy work there? Or will Peleliu swallow them whole? Dusk bleeds into night on September 15th, Peleliu. The airfield's edge looms 300 yards ahead, a flat scar of crushed coral under gathering stars. But the Marines hunker in foxholes ringed by razor wire and the unburied dead. Eugene's sledge spoons cold beans from his last C-ration, the metallic tang turning his stomach as distant howitzers rumble like thunder over the Palau horizon. Jay DeLauter crouches nearby, whittling fuses from bootlaces and flare cord by flashlight, his toys now infamous. 4 bunkers silenced, but officers like Lieutenant Mac McCall prowl, barking orders. "No more hillbilly bombs, DeLauter. Stick to satchel charges." The brass fears chain reactions in ammo dumps or friendly wounds from unstable powder mixes. You can feel the tension coil tighter than a mainspring. Japanese counterattacks probe the lines, banzai rushes muffled by the jungle, Nambu guns chattering from the shadows. Private First Class R.V. Bergen, Sledge's squadmate, jerks awake from a catnap as grenades arc in, one exploding close enough to pepper his poncho with shrapnel. "Sarge, those cans! They bounced grenades back at Tarawa," DeLauter whispers urgently to Sergeant Hank Boys. Tarawa's ghosts haunt them. 1943's meat grinder, where standard frags failed against log and coral forts, and brass banned improvisations after mishaps cost limbs. But Peleliu's bunkers are worse. Reinforced with steel rails from wrecked ships, vents designed to vent grenade blasts skyward. Boyes hesitates, eyes on the ridge where muzzle flashes wink like fireflies. A scream pierces the dark. Company G pinned 100 yards left, a pillbox shredding their advance. "Screw it, make 5 more." DeLauter grins grimly, raiding the platoon pile. Cheese spread's sticky heft binds gunpowder, TNT scraps from Bangalore torpedoes, even nails from ammo crates for shrapnel. He molds them baseball-sized, fuses trailing like witch's hair. At 0200, under a creeping moon, Sledge and DeLauter belly crawl forward, the toy grenades slung in a cartridge belt. The pillbox looms, a black hulk exhaling death. 2 embrasures sweeping the trail. Sweat burns Sledge's eyes as he covers DeLauter, who lobs the first toy true. It sails through the slit, fuse hissing. Inside, Imperial Marines shout, "Americano Bacallaro!" Fumble for it. The blast is biblical. A muffled roar, then orange flame jets from every crevice, hurling a body part skyward. Screams echo, silenced by the second toy lobbed into the rear door. Bergen flanks, bangs into his own. 3 down. The nest falls, clearing the kill zone for G Company. Dawn reveals the carnage. 6 defenders roasted, their Arasaka rifles melted to the walls. Word races up the chain. Major Louis Chesty Puller, 1st Marine's indomitable CO, hears of the cheese grenades saving his flank. But HQ in the rear, sipping coffee from steel mugs, wires a reprimand. Improvised explosives prohibited per Bu-Ord Directive 1943. Risk to ammo integrity. DeLauter scoffs, stuffing another can as patrols report Bloody Nose Ridge crawling with Nakagawa's fanatics. Bunkers stacked like beehives in the karst cliffs. Puller turns a blind eye, for now. As the sun claws up, scorching the dead, E Company pushes toward the ridge's base. Mortars rain, a buddy vaporized mid-step. DeLauter's satchel runs dry. 1 toy left. And the first cave mouth yawns ahead, belching smoke and steel. September 16th, 0800. Bloody Nose Ridge's jagged spine towers 300 feet, pocked with cave mouths like screaming faces carved by typhoons. Eugene's sledge wipes blood mud from his face, his own from a shrapnel kiss, as E Company, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, grinds uphill, every step mined with knee mortars and booby-trapped coconuts. The air hangs thick with burnt powder and gangrene rot. Stretchers groan past, loaded with boys from Ohio, Alabama, Tennessee, legs pulped by 47mm anti-tank rounds repurposed for infantry slaughter. Jay DeLauter's last toy grenade weighs heavy in his pocket, its cheese powder innards sweating through the sock wrap. Feel the crush of it. The ridge, a meat grinder worse than Guadalcanal's jungles or Tarawa's reefs. Japanese Lieutenant Colonel Toshichi Hori's holdouts, veterans of Rabaul, have laced the caves with interlocking fields of fire. Type 99 machine guns chattering from 50-foot drops, snipers in clefts picking off corpsmen. Flamethrower men advance, M22 nozzles roaring. But the gel splatters harmlessly off sheer coral lips, operators roasted in payback bursts. Demolition teams lob satchels, dynamite bundles with primacord fuses, but defenders kick them back or seal ports with corrugated iron. Casualties mount, 40% in hours. Medevac jeeps churning ruts in the trail. DeLauter spots the target, a mid-slope bunker cluster, 4 interconnected caves honeycombed 20 feet deep, logs overhead deflecting 75mm howitzers from the USS Maryland offshore. "That cluster's got our number," Sergeant Boys growls, ducking as bullets chip rock inches from his BAR. Sledge nods, heart slamming. Last night's success feels like luck. DeLauter unmolds his final toy, fist-sized terror reeking of cheddar decay and black powder volatility. Platoon mortarman Private Lou Anderson spoons in extra from dud rounds, nails from a wrecked Amtrak for bite. Fuse lit, it arcs perfect, into the lead cave's jagged mouth. Inside, shadows scramble. 10 defenders reloading amid ammo crates. The blast erupts cataclysmic. Cheese incendiary flares white-hot. Powder flash ignites volatile gases. Nails shred flesh like a blender. Flame whooshes through connecting tunnels, vents exploding outward into geysers of fire. Secondary booms ripple, Japanese grenades cooking off, their own powder magazine touched. The 4 bunkers shudder, roofs cracking, bodies tumbling from slits charred black. Silence falls, broken only by the ridge wind moaning through fresh vents. Marines charge the smoking ruins. Sledge peers in. 28 dead, tunnels fused to glass, the toy's paste smeared like unholy graffiti. Cheers ripple, but Captain Andrew Salt Haldane radios Puller. "DeLauter's cans just gutted Hill 100. Puller bellows approval, overriding HQ. "Issue ration tins corps-wide. Banned no more." Production ramps. Cooks empty crates. Ordnance men distribute powder. Toys dubbed DeLauters or Peleliu pineapples. By noon, squads clear 6 more clusters, ridge path cracking open. Nakagawa fumes in his CP, ordering cave seals. But as dusk falls September 17th, a massive counter-assault builds. 1,000 fanatics massing for Bonsai, Ridge shaking with their chants. DeLauter's factory hums, but powder stocks dwindle. Can the toys stem the human wave crashing down? September 17th, 2200 hours. Bloody Nose Ridge trembles under pounding drums. Japanese conch horns blare from Umerbrogel Pocket's depths, signaling Colonel Kunio Nakagawa's do-or-die Bonsai. Eugene Sledge jams a fresh clip into his carbine, foxhole slick with sweat and yesterday's blood, as searchlights from destroyers off White Beach 2 sweep the slopes. Jay DeLauter, promoted de facto bomb sergeant, oversees a feverish assembly line in a bomb crater. 50 Marines gutting C-rations by flashlight, mixing cheese spreads clingy glue with gunpowder from 60mm mortars, TNT flakes, scavenged nails, even thermite from flare innards for extra hellfire. The toys stack like canned doom, 200 strong, stinking the air with processed rot and sulfur. Hear it building, the guttural roars echoing like demons unchained. 1,200 Imperial Marines surging down defiles, bayonets fixed, fueled by sake and Emperor oaths. Tarawa's lessons repeat, waves crashing machine guns. But Peleliu's caves birth them endlessly. E Company's lines buckle, grenades bursting, bodies piling in moonlight. Sergeant Hank Boys bellows, "DeLauter's forward!" Sledge grabs 3, fuse ends dangling, and with RV Bergen sprints to the wire. The horde hits, faces painted black, screaming, "Banzai! Tenoheika!" Rifles thrusting. A squad overruns a 30 cal nest, Marines clubbed down. DeLauter lights and lobs from 10 yards. The toy tumbles into the vanguard cluster. Flashbang inferno. Incendiary cheese torches uniforms. Powder shreds torsos. Chained blasts hopscotch through the ranks. 20 fanatics vaporize in a 30-foot fireball. Survivors stumbling blind. Sledge's throw clears a flank pocket. 8 down. Flames lighting skulls like jack-o'-lanterns. Bergen rolls his into a crevice. Secondary cooks off their knee mortars, shrapnel reaping dozens. The toys excel in chaos. Light, lobbable, the paste-sealing breaches where frags failed. Flames sucking oxygen from caves, forcing coughs and charges into open kill zones. Puller's voice crackles over field phones. "Push the cans! Corps approval!" From 1st to 7th Marines, toys proliferate. Ration tins packed battlefield style, some with Bangalore fuses for cave probing. By midnight, the banzai breaks. 500 Japanese dead strewn like cordwood. Ridge trails choked with charred gear. Nakagawa retreats deeper, wiring Tokyo of devil grenades. Dawn, September 18th, reveals victory's cost. 187 Marine KIAs. But the pocket cracks. DeLauter, hands blistered, preps for the mop-up. Cave assaults where toys shine brightest. Yet resupply choppers spot cave reinforcements. Anti-grenade baffles installed. As patrols probe the labyrinth, a scream echoes. A squad trapped in a dead-end tunnel, flamethrower out of fuel. Toys or death? September 19th, 0400. Umerbrogel pockets bowels. A maze of karst fissures riddled with 500 caves, some cathedral vast, others coffin tight. Eugene Sledge edges into Tunnel Alpha, flashlight beam dancing on walls slick with bat guano and congealed blood. The air stale as a tomb. Jay DeLauter's toys have become legend. 87 bunkers gutted in 48 hours. But Nakagawa adapts. Baffles in vents, water-filled sumps to douse flames, suicide squads sealing breaches. Private First Class Sid Phillips, Sledge's old boot camp pal, coughs behind him, M1 Garand shouldered, as distant echoes hint at the trapped squad ahead. Company F men cornered by cave-ins. The stench hits first. Feces, cordite, rotting pork from Japanese Type 98 rations. Feel the claustrophobia clamp like jaws. Ceilings dripping, floors mined with punji spikes, every shadow a sniper. Flamethrowers falter here. No oxygen for sustained burn. Tanks too bulky for twists. Dynamite satchels bring collapses, burying friend and foe. DeLauter, leading the rescue, clutches a cluster of upgraded toys. Double-packed tins with Primacord daisy chains. Thermite cores for molten penetration. "These'll cook 'em out," he mutters, lighting the lead fuse amid flickering Zippo flames. They round a bend. Ambush. Type 100 submachine guns blaze from ledges, bullets ricocheting like hornets. Phillips drops, gut shot. Sledge drags him back as DeLauter hurls the chain toy into the kill zone. It snakes through baffles, paste adhering like napalm. Multi-blast symphony. First tin ignites powder, flash sweeping the chamber. Thermite melts baffles, lava eating logs. Chained pops cascade, flames jetting 50 feet, incinerating 15 defenders mid-reload. Screams turn to gurgles, the cave venting smoke like a dragon's nostrils. The path clears. F Company's survivors stagger out, faces ashen, whispering thanks. Word electrifies the pocket. Toys conquer the unassailable. Puller requirements: 5,000 tins island-wide. Seabees improvise presses from wrecked LVTs. Marines nickname them Peleliu stinkers, the cheese reek a grim joke amid horror. By noon, squads like Lieutenant Robert Leckey's probe deeper. Toys lobbed into vents, flushing holdouts into minefields. Nakagawa's logs burn. Enemy firebombs defy vents. Troops roast alive. Casualties plummeted 30% where toys deploy. September 20th sees Hill 345 fall, overlook commanding the pocket. But as monsoon rains lash, turning caves to swamps, a massive redoubt emerges. Nakagawa's HQ fortress, 100-foot deep, steel-doored. DeLauter's facing his masterpiece. Or his grave? November 1944. Pavuvu Staging Island, New Hebrides. Eugene Sledge stares at the rusting C-ration tins stacked in supply tents, each a ghost of Peleliu's fury. Now, official DeLauter charges, mimeographed manuals circulating from Bu-Ord. Pack 4-ounce cheese spread, 2-ounce powder, seal, fuse. Jay DeLauter, Silver Star pinned, drills new boots on assembly, his hands scarred like alligator hide from powder burns. The 1st Marine Division licks wounds: malaria, dysentery, shell shock. Peleliu cost 1,288 dead, 5,900 wounded, for an airfield never used. Brass admits the error, underestimating Nakagawa's 26,000 fanatics in 400 square miles of fortress. Feel the hollow triumph. Sledge replays cave screams in nightmares, the cheese reek triggering bile. DeLauter confides over lukewarm coffee. "Banned him at Tarawa because one blew a LT's hand. Cook-off in heat. But Peleliu proved it. Paste sticks, burns hotter than flamethrower gel, cheaper than satchels." Official reports credit toys with 40% bunker kills, forcing Japanese shifts to open banzai, target-rich for artillery. Puller lobbies for mass production. 100,000 shipped to Iwo Jima prep, but whispers sour. Peleliu unnecessary. MacArthur bypassed it for Luzon. Marines paid the butcher's bill for Navy pride. Across the Pacific, the legend grows. Guadalcanal vets nod knowingly. Early ration hacks there, but banned post-Guad. Iwo's 28th Marines test prototypes on Suribachi mocks. 4 bunkers cleared in minutes. DeLauter writes home, "Toy saved my platoon daily." Sledge journals the horror. Coral-stained eternal red. February 1945. Iwo looms. 6 by 3 miles of sulfur vents, 1,200 caves, 21,000 defenders. Toys load LSTs by thousands. As Mount Suribachi glows under pre-invasion strikes, DeLauter packs his first batch. Will the stinkers crack the island's black heart? or mutate into something deadlier amid volcanic ash. February 19th, 1945, 0830 hours. Iwo Jima's Yellow Beach 1. LVTs grind ashore through obsidian surf, Mount Suribachi's cone belching smoke like a brooding god. Sergeant Jay DeLauter, 5th Marines vet reassigned to 28th Regiment, hunkers in the lead Amtrak, clutching a crate of Peleliu evolved toys. Refined DeLauters, now with composition C1 plastique for punch. Cheese phased for peanut butter paste, stickier, less rot-prone. 6-ounce killers stamped USMC Spec 44B. Eugene Sledge, recovering stateside but his letters stealing comrades, would recognize the hiss of fuses amid volcanic grit. Japanese 109th Division's 22,000 dig in. 11 miles of tunnels, blockhouses bomb-proofed by ash layers. The landing erupts chaos. Kuribayashi's gunners hold fire, then unleash. 47 millimeters pulverizing tractors. Minsei-sans charging with bamboo spears. DeLauter's platoon hits the terrace, airfield number 1 ahead, but pillboxes rake from Motoyama village ruins. Standard Mark II frags ping off concrete, satchels too bulky for ports. "Stinkers!" Lieutenant Jack Thomas yells. DeLauter lights 4, lobs into slits, blasts channel inward, C1 breaching baffles, paste incendiary torching innards. 2 bunkers spew flame, 12 defenders silenced. 3rd cracks open for flamethrower finish. Path clears, Marines surging 500 yards by noon. Word flies via runner. Peleliu pineapples work. Across beaches, toys deploy. 4th Division on green crushes Suribachi spurs. But Iwo mutates the drill. Ash-clogged fuses demand weatherproofing. Cave networks demand chain toys with 500-foot primacord snakes. DeLauter adapts on the fly, raiding K-rations for binders. By D+3, 150 bunkers down, but meat grinder intensifies. Kuribayashi's no bonsai doctrine bleeds attackers dry. Casualties hit 5,000. Medics scream for morphine amid sulfur fumes burning lungs. Puller, sidelined but advising, wires. "Double DeLauters, cave busters." February 23rd. Flag rises on Suribachi, but northern plateaus yawn with 1,000-room labyrinths. Toys stockpile, but powder convoys sink en route. As night falls, a mega-cave assault looms. Kuribayashi's CP suspected. Stinkers enough to end it? Or fuel the island's pyre higher? March 3rd, 1945. Northern Iwo Jima's Turkey Knob, a fortress knuckle overlooking Kitano Point, riddled with 300-foot tunnels. General Tadamichi Kuribayashi's last redoubt. Sergeant Jay DeLauter wipes ash from bloodshot eyes. His 28th Marines platoon down to 60% strength. Foxholes, shallow graves in pumice. Toys have claimed 800 nests island-wide, but here vents bristle with grenade grates, interiors flooded knee-deep to drowned flames. Marines claw approaches under Nebelwerfer screams, bodies twitching in black sand. DeLauter preps the ultimate, Goliath, a 50-pound chain of 20 DeLauters, primacord laced with C2, thermite overload, delivered by Bangalore pole into main intake. The assault kicks at 1400. Smoke barrage cloaks, 75 millimeters pound roofs. Casualties mount, Buddy vaporized by hidden gun. DeLauter shoulders Goliath, Sledge's spirit in every step, belly crawls under wire. Vent looms, great pride by crowbar amid pistol fire. Pole snakes in, fuse sparks. Defenders inside sense doom, scrambling seals. Detonation apocalypse. Chain reaction rips 3 levels, C2 liquefying baffles, thermite forging white rivers, paste flash consuming oxygen. Caves belch inferno, steel doors blowing like champagne corks. 150 fanatics incinerated in chain blasts echoing miles. Kuribayashi's adjutant found fused to a field phone, logs carbonized. Survivors trickle out. Surrender flags. By March 26th, Iwo secure. 26,000 Japanese dead, 6,800 Marines. Toys credited in after-actions, 2,500 bunkers breached, turning flamethrower flank tactics viable. DeLauter, Navy Cross recommended. Ships home a hero. VJ Day nears. Okinawa tests final evolutions. But Peleliu's toy, born of ration cans and desperation, rewrote Pacific doctrine from ban to staple. Caves no longer tombs. Marines breathe freer, though scarred eternal. The war's fire dims, but the stink of victory lingers.